It's where you live. Shaw TV, your local voice.
I want my stories to be heard and movies seen by millions, and for that, I need to move out of my comfort zone.
I want the big blockbuster films in my credits, and I'm not going to let being a girl stop me from achieving that.
I want to see my name at the end of movies, even if it means moving away from people I grew up with.
I want to bring my ideas to life, and finances is a burden I will overcome.
He has drive. He has a type of ambition that is very admirable. It's not that common for students at Ritvik's age to have that kind of drive because they don't have the life experience to really know not only what they do want to do, but what they don't want to do. And I think that his kind of readiness for getting into the industry, his passion for storytelling is part of what fuels that drive. And then he's got a bit of a bent to just tackle projects no matter how big they are.
I don't know, he just seemed, you know, as a teen, he was dignified. It was a great first impression. He was incredibly polite, bright, dignified young man who had all these amazing interests and was eager to come in and see what Sisler had to offer. I think he had only been, in the country for, maybe even a few days, and here he was already just geared up to go.
I consider myself a very lucky person for landing in Sisler. I think after my parents and family, the whole credit goes to my teachers for shaping a lifestyle that, revolves around the thing I love.
I remember when Kevin was in nursery, a boy in his class came to me and said, "Tita, you know what? Kevin was not able to eat his lunch today." And I said, "Why?" "Because this boy threw Kevin's food on the floor. So Kevin is hungry all day." So when we got home, I asked Kevin, "Kevin, is that true? Were you not able to eat lunch? You must be really hungry." And he answered me, "That's okay, Mom. That was just an accident." Kevin was a quiet boy, and yet his attitude is attracting, not to me as a mother, but also to other people.
My aunt introduced me to him, and I was like, "Okay, Josh, this is Kevin right here." And then Kevin literally didn't say anything. He was just like, it's kind of low key. He's not really the life of the party type. He's kind of just there. I don't know. I feel like that's a good thing to have a friend to have a friend like that. He's always there. You just ask him "Yo, I need something." So the guy that you call, he doesn't really speak up much for himself, but then like the things that he creates, they're like amazing. And people really saw like the abilities that he have, feel like they would praise him.
I would have been 5 or 6 years old when I first decided to watch Toy Story. It was the first cartoon that I've ever seen that never had black outlines around their characters, and it excited me. As any other child, it blew me away, but while everyone was talking about Buzz and Woody's epic adventure, I was thinking, how the heck did they make that? The majority of my time is spent at school working on a project. Like, our teachers always tell us to get out of class and go home and see the sun or something, when all I want to do is render that last particle in my project. And when I do get home, all I do is watch YouTube videos, so tutorials on how to do more visual effects shots, roundtables from directors, advice from cinematographers, tips from animators, and I wanted to learn everything, so I've been watching those every time I get home from school. I guess my passion has kind of changed the way I look at the world, so sometimes when I go out and it's snowing, I wonder how cool it would look if like the snow would drift this way, like when I'm looking at it, or when it's raining, I would wonder how cool it would look if the raindrops just stopped in midair and I was walking through it.
Well, she is extremely hardworking. Whenever we would have lunch together, she would always be talking about her projects, and when she wasn't with me during lunch, she would always be working on her projects in a different room. So she really taught me that hard work pays off, because she's amazing at what she does.
All the other kids might be doing something over here, but she was interested in something over there. And so once I asked Janelle, what do you want? And that's what Janelle picked. She picked a steel pan. And I even said to her, seriously? She always seemed to go outside of the box. Everybody's doing this, and she just go a different way.
Well, art means a lot to me. I've been drawing for as long as I can remember, basically, and it's just something that came naturally. It's like some people who can just talk whenever they want. Me, that was art.
And when she started drawing, she realized she had something, because every time as she got older, she got better and better, and it was all self-taught. And so she decided that she wanted to use her talent one way or the other in a profession. In Janelle's last year of school, as she started getting again older and she's talking about this, she never really had any professional training. And so we started looking at post-grad. We talk about a few places where she can go. But it wasn't until June of 2015 and I was getting information about the media program that's getting bigger at Sisler, and then about Vancouver, and I got all the information, and at that moment a light bulb just went out. Ooh, why don't I just transfer Janelle to Sisler High School? And so that's what we did. I brought the idea home to Janelle, and immediately she just light up and she's like, yes, let's do this.
You know, when I was in high school, over 10 years ago now, we had a box of computers and didn't really know what to do with them. But now you got kids learning the interface of all these programs. And here at Sisler, you got people modeling, they're animating, they're working in Flash, and it's like, man, they're just so far ahead of where we were at the time. And most of these kids here are doing, you know, as good or better work than I was doing in my first year of college.
If we look at Sisler alone, since 2013, we've boomed from 433 students to 860 students this year. 30 graduating students have been accepted into post-secondary institutions across Canada into the creative industry areas. Unfortunately, none in Manitoba, unless you're going to go through traditional forms of fine art or computer science. And it's really painful to watch these students who you've developed such a bond with, and you realize that the only way that they're going to succeed, to get a job, get a career, live that dream, is to, you know, pack up, leave their friends and family, and go out east or go out west.
The dream in short is to work on a blockbuster film, a film that everyone will be talking about and be so immersed in the visual effects that they'll be lost in the story.
I wouldn't want to be just in the
around the world, it's like, whoa, even more.
Here there's tons of opportunities in terms of film companies. There are tons of TV shows and movies being filmed here, and it's just a place where you can learn and strive and become the best you can possibly be.
I think the work here is just like working in film production. Being here, I'm exposed to all sorts of creative individuals, not just technicians, and it makes the day-to-day more exciting.
Yeah, I felt like it was the right decision coming to Vancouver because of the fact that in Winnipeg there aren't as many film companies or a lot of opportunities there that I could go into in terms of film.
My parents didn't get the chance to for their education, and that is the reason why they taught me how important education was, because they learned from their mistakes. My mom only finished high school and didn't take college or university, and my father, he had to quit high school in order to work and support his family.
It's not always easy to let your kids go, and Janelle being my first daughter. When we started looking at where she wants to go, we knew she had to leave home. And I sort of kind of blanked that out until we actually realized, yeah, you gotta let her go.
To move away from them, it's gonna be probably the hardest thing for me, because I haven't been apart from them for more than a week. I know even then I would be calling every day, and it it still feel hard at the end of the week. So I don't even know how it's going to be living a year without them. I know we're still going to communicate, but it's not going to be the same as talking to each other, being like how we've been and what's going on. But I know that we can get through it because that's something that we've always done.
Last year, my mom was diagnosed with cancer and had to stop working. Since most of the household's income was coming from her, I thought that going to VFS was a really bad idea for us as a family financially.
What it did with my accident, everything just stopped. I actually took a second job to help because we know what these sort of expenses coming down the pipe would be. And this happened in November, so we just managed with what I receive. Knowing that Janelle have to go to Vancouver, we actually postponed it.
If Winnipeg had a more suitable post-secondary education, well, I wouldn't leave Winnipeg, because Winnipeg's my home.
Vancouver is known as the most expensive city to live in North America. And in my situation, most people would call me crazy to be thinking of moving there. I would for sure come back to Winnipeg to be part of its film industry. I just think that Manitoba's film industry is at its infancy, but I want to get established and work on big movies sooner.
So the future does seem a little scary to me sometimes because the only thing stopping me from reaching the top is the fact that I'm a girl. So this led to many questions for me. If there aren't that many female filmmakers in the industry, then does that mean I have no chance in making it either? It concerns me sometimes that I'm spending a large amount of my time trying to really pursue this passion of mine when, in the end, it could all come crashing down just because I'm a girl.
Here at Sisler, we're really trying to get these students to realize that these dreams are attainable if they want to work for a film company or an animation company. But the problem here right now is that although there are some fantastic post-secondary programs here in Manitoba, there are very few specialized programs. I have a feeling that when a lot of these students leave, they're not going to come back. A lot of fantastic companies here, but we need something local here that would actually allow students to continue to stay in Manitoba.
Currently in Manitoba, there are a lot of medium-sized companies with 50 to 100 employees, but in terms of large companies, there's not that many. And if we try and attract large companies here, there are no skilled workers. It poses a question and a dilemma because students want to work in the film industry, but there's no post-secondary option here in Manitoba, so they have to go elsewhere. And what usually ends up is they end up staying where they go to school, and they don't come back to Winnipeg. So to attract larger studios here is hard because the workers don't come back. Large studios see the potential of working in Manitoba with affordable cost of living and with some beneficial tax credits, but we don't have the skilled workers needed.
So what's needed is a pipeline to train, develop, and keep students here in Winnipeg so that we can attract the larger studios and therefore providing more opportunities in the industry.
Winnipeg has given me more than I could ask for. Great school, amazing teachers, and a ton of opportunities. But I believe life is like a river. The water is fresh as long as it's running. Once it becomes stagnant, that's it.
I will always be her friend, no matter how many provinces are between us, territories even.
If he become part of this film industry, I've seen that Kevin will be one of the influential person.
Whenever she needs somebody, I'll always be there. And I just hope that she does well and continues the great work that she does.
I want to keep moving, keep it fresh. I want to meet new people, make new connections, form new bonds, see something new, experience something unreal.
And I believe if she continues the way that she is going, she will get it. She'll get there.
And being influential because he will be a good example of this young generation to be a contributor in the society.
He'll be at the center of something. At the center of something, for sure. What that is hard to say. I think he's going to learn a lot once he gets out there.
I want to get out of my comfort zone and take a risk, because risk creates chances. I have no clue what Vancouver has in store for me, and that's the beauty of it. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. But what I do know for sure is that leaving home is not the end. I feel like the party hasn't even started yet.